I said, but then I thought about, they don't have bread trucks anywhere, so nobody can work on that. They don't have home delivery of milk anymore, so you can't do that. Most grocery stores, if they're small ones, are hardly non-existent because either they're gas stations or they're Walmarts, big grocery
Right.
stores.
No, you've got an Ellie's Deli, which is a small grocery store plus delicatessen mostly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have these little ones that are up in Pennsylvania where I go.
Well, it's one in West Virginia.
Is there one? Yeah, there's one over in West Virginia.
Now, we had Garino's Bakery. I worked there, okay? But, well, of course, they're dead now, but I mean, you don't really have too many. I mean, we have some local bakeries, but we're in communities. You know what I'm saying? Most of them are in outlying areas.
Is there still a bakery down on Baltimore Street? You mean M&M?
Yeah.
Yeah, Federal Bakery or? M&M's is there.
I mean, but when you think about when I think about all the different jobs, can't be paperboy anymore, okay? I did
No.
that, okay? So when you think about all those kind of different jobs, what can the kids really do now?
McDonald's.
Yeah, well, they got that, but I've heard some of the younger people talk about, I'm not working at McDonald's. I'm thinking to myself,
Karen did, she was 16, she went out and got herself a job at McDonald's.
So did Ella.
And then McCrory's first.
Yes.
She worked at McCrory's
Okay.
first.
She
department
worked at
store.
McCrory's.
No, McCrory's was, well, yeah, department store, but they also had like a little,
They have a
deli
deli
counter,
downstairs.
yeah,
fountain sodas and sandwiches and stuff.
like Reed's used to have.
Yeah, she worked there.
Well, I don't know if y'all know about Reed's up here.
Then she worked at McDonald's.
Okay,
Yeah, but I've heard of Reed's.
yeah, the drugstore, we had fountain stuff.
There's still a Reed's drugstore up in Kaiser.
Well, yeah, but that's a different Reed's.
That's like a private,
Right,
or I mean, not like a
Right.
chain.
right,
My
exactly.
oldest boy worked at Peach's drugstore.
My sister's
sister's
first job,
People's.
Teresa, she worked at People's, was at the food counter at People's.
Okay.
Yeah, so many of these places are there.
That was a little drugstore.
Well,
Yeah, People's a little
the,
close.
the Reed's chain was actually brought up by Rite Aid. Okay, so that's why, I said, but a lot of these places, I look up some of the things, I'm like, well, whatever happened to so-and-so? I used to work for a delivery company, it was called Delivery of Baltimore. Well, that was back before I went into service, so I had to be around 64, 65. And found out they were brought up by UPS.
Yeah.
Okay, all the local delivery places, UPS was buying them up back then. Go ahead.
Where the doctor delivered my first, actually 3 of my 5 children,
Yeah.
delivered my mother's last 2.
Okay.
Okay? You didn't have to go in there and tell them anything. They knew the whole family. I don't know that you can find anybody like that
No.
anymore.
Well, because everybody's so spread out, and
Yeah.
then there's so many, I'm just thinking about my own family, they don't really care about that stuff. And I said, with me, nobody told me anything from my older generations.
Mhm.
It's like, well, don't tell him, he don't know nothing, I'm like, okay, so then when I go for history, it's, like, especially with the changes, new doctors, and say, well, tell me about your history. I'm like, they ask me questions from their list, I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody told me.
I told you last year that at Thanksgiving, my daughter, the oldest daughter that's into genealogy,
Yeah,
talked for almost 3 hours and took notes
yeah,
on what I can remember.
right,
And then she got me again at Christmas last year.
right.
Well, no, yeah, it was Thanksgiving one time at Christmas. And yeah,
What,
she was into genealogy.
I was into that. In fact, I just sent the 2 tapes to Prince's next older brother, because he's getting into it now. I said, but so many of my kids will say, even especially the oldest ones in their 50s, well, Dad, I didn't know that. I said, what? I said, think about this now. I told you thus and so back in there.
Right.
Oh, that's what you were talking about. I said, I know you won't understand it now, but
Yeah.
then one day you will. So now they begin to understand why they need that information. But then there's so many people they could have asked back then that are gone. To get more detail,
When my second husband died last year, the kids, he had taken all of the 800,
Yeah,
and they're getting it all put on those little things. for the kids.
yeah,
And they have a lot of things from when they were little kids.
right, yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah,
All right, well, I'm gonna hit end stream.
Evie, every once in a while I see her,